Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Mayor Beach Pace, and today we are welcoming Isabel Mendoza, owner of Su Casa Supermercado on Calle Diez in Hillsboro. I'm going to talk about how our community, I want to ask you about how our community can support Latine-owned businesses. But before I get into that, I did want to talk to you, as we've been talking for a while now, but also let the viewers know that Hillsboro is a sanctuary city, and we serve everyone regardless of their immigration status. And we believe that the strength of Hillsboro is found in our diversity. Nowhere is that more apparent in Calle Diez, where Latino-owned businesses include grocery stores, bakeries, clothing stores, and much more. But with the current administration's approach to immigration enforcement, Latina community members are experiencing great discomfort, to say the least. So as a result, Latino-owned businesses are facing new challenges as some customers are very weary or leery of encountering ICE agents. So Isabel, what are you seeing right now as a Latina community member and a business owner?
Well, I'm seeing a lot of uncertainty and insecurity in our community, and of course, 100% mental health stress.
Yes, yeah.
Seen a lot of changes in, long-term planning in our families, but, it's affecting definitely people buying and investing in long-term, like even education, because of they're uncertain of what's going to happen about the birthright.
The birthright citizenship.
Yeah. And just going out for assistance, people doing without, not they fear the asking for assistance through, even WIC that's not affected, shouldn't be affected, WIC.
And but they're afraid maybe to go to WIC and then they have their information on file.
Absolutely. Okay. Just last week, there was a conversation that was actually on the news where they were taking private profiles from Social Security, Human Resources, and IRS. So that was going around. So even that, kids are scared to go to school. Parents are scared to send their kids to school. Right. Just outings where there's mass groups. So it's made a big difference. And they're avoiding being around, big groups. So it's affected our families in a very negative way. Just that fear.
Yeah. Just the fear alone.
Right? Yeah.
And I think there's been some misinformation put out too, where people are saying, there was an ICE raid here, but there wasn't. And then people are avoiding those areas. Are you seeing that as well?
Su Casa is always affected. I mean, we're the pioneers of the Hispanic business, and everybody knows Su Casa. So if you want to shout something out in fear, scare people or the community, it starts with Su Casa. We get calls, was ICE there? Anything that happens, the shootings, it's just the incident that happened a couple of weeks ago was across the street from Su Casa, but it was at Su Casa.
Oh, right.
So we were affected by that. We had another 2-3 days of hardly no sales, so this is all affecting us, by people fear going out.
Yeah.
So it's a run in, run out, and get what you need, and let's go.
And not stick around.
That's right.
So you mentioned the misinformation and just the sentiment right now, what's going on federally, is affecting businesses. How can community members in Hillsboro and beyond support Latino-owned businesses right now? What would you love to see?
I just feeling that we should have more community relationships where people start feeling secure, start feeling that they feel safe, and places that they could go to be informed of the correct information that's going on. Also, just having resources available, for like us businesses, be able to have some kind of legal support, because legal, I mean, it's expensive, to have legal matters, and and it'd be nice to have some kind of support through the community to have a place to call for questions and whatever.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's good feedback.
Yeah.
Would you love to see people frequenting the Latino businesses?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Shop local. Shop local.
Shop
and,
Latino, right?
Yeah. Promote, the positive of the experience at our business or any of the businesses,
Mm-hmm.
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Mhm.
Okay. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you connecting with and collaborating with other business owners? Are they providing good information? Are you providing good information with each other?
I wish there was more of it
Mm-hmm.
because I'd have to say no.
Okay.
I just feel that there's no connection, and just experiencing last year and the year before, dealing with all the homelessness and, the whole issue, the homeless shelter that they put on Calle Diez, just
Right.
going to those meetings, I didn't see a whole lot of interest, and I'd like to see more of that and see how we could do a little more outreach and get that connection
Mm-hmm.
in the businesses, that and also, the Day Without Immigrants. I mean, how that wasn't very effective on Calle Diez, and
Yeah.
so we need to have that support, because what message are we sending out?
Mm.
Some of us closed, some of us didn't.
Some of us didn't. Yeah.
And
Well, especially when you're hurting for business, it was a tough
Exactly.
decision.
Yeah, it was
To
a tough
close
decision.
your business on that day.
It was
or
a
not.
tough decision.
Yeah.
But, we did it. We had never closed. In 43 years of our business, we had never closed one day, and we did that day
Oh.
in support of our community.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So you're the owner of Su Casa. You'd love to see people to come to Su Casa and frequent the other businesses on Calle Diez. Are there any other businesses that come to mind that you would love community members to frequent?
all of them.
All of
I mean,
Yeah.
we're all dealing with the same issues,
Yeah. Mhm.
So it'd be nice just to have that connection and be able to mentor each other or support each other in what issues we have.
Right.
And
And then we have the markets at M&M Market, where there's all these different vendors inside. And then we have El Paisanos, which is close to Su Casa, which also has different booths in there as well that people can stop by in addition to Su Casa.
Right. Well, there's
Right.
plenty for all of us.
There is. There is.
The only one that's going to feel bad is the one that wants it all.
Yeah.
I don't. There's
just-
plenty for us all.
I love that.
And I know that it all depends on our efforts, and you have to work.
Yeah. You gotta
Nothing
work at
falls
it.
on your nest, So
So if somebody wanted to stop by Su Casa, what's the address of Su Casa, or how could they find you?
okay, we're in Hillsboro, 1050 Southeast Walnut, and we're also in Portland on 162nd and Stark.
Okay, so you got
Yeah.
two locations.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great.
Yes.
Isabel,
yes.
thanks so much for coming in today. And thanks to all of you for watching Community Conversations to talk about how we as a community can support Latino-owned businesses during this time of need.